Make sure I get in the shot so everybody
yeah.
can see. See, I'm on the pod, man. I'm excited. This is the first time I ever did a podcast in my life, but
What?
I've never been on a podcast.
Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yup.
Yo, time out, bro. Yo, hold on, man. Listen, this is the craziest part about podding, right? I did this for 3 years. I've interviewed shit. The only people I haven't really got a chance to like get a hold of is Griselda. But like you name them, I've interviewed them or I've even been around them, associated with them. You know, just like when I did the album and I had everybody come together.
Right.
That's why it was crazy that I did the album and most everybody I interviewed and I didn't. You didn't come on the pod. We talked about it,
Yeah.
but we just didn't do it. And I thank you for that song. Cause that song is out of all 13 songs, is number 4 stream.
Okay.
From the Bandcamp.
That's
what I'm
what's
saying.
up.
You know what I'm saying? So definitely got an impact, and we definitely appreciate it. So I want to introduce the pod. How I do it is this is Ricky.
My name is Valed, Valed, man. Fade and full, big fade and full, big hoodlum, entrepreneur, leader. Man, I'm a lot of things, man. Visionary.
Okay.
Just an honorable individual all around. You know what I mean? With a lot of growth, man. We gonna unpack a lot of things here today.
Okay. Well, all right, we're gonna get to it, and we are Culture Visions. Okay. So first things first. We are in Castle Studios. I flew back in, not just to do this interview, but this is on my list of doing when I got here. You know what I mean? So I'm just getting touched down maybe 2-3 hours ago. So for me, I love doing these things. I love like seeing people in our city, in our community, do the things that you have been doing. And so it's just, for me, I want to say it's an honor to come and do the pod with you and share it. My whole thing is to make sure we get anybody who has something that's going on out to the public so they can gravitate to it, because it's something that they missing. That, you know what I mean? Everything is not being seen. You know the algorithms. If you don't hashtag it the proper way, or if you don't do it the proper way, people are not going to see it. So I hope that my platform will bring more people to see what you're doing and how you are affecting the community. Now you have been living in Buffalo all your life, right?
Yeah, most of my life in Buffalo. So a portion of my life I lived in Atlanta. I lived in Decatur.
Okay.
So, during the course of my childhood, a lot of people don't know this about me. My dad was a medical professional. So, he, went to school to learn how to be a radiation dosimetrist.
Oh, what the
So a
fuck
lot
is
of
that?
right. So he does like the mathematical equations to help cure people for cancer.
Oh, okay.
So that was what he did. So he couldn't really find opportunity here in Buffalo. He migrated to Cleveland during my childhood, and so I go spend summers out there, throughout my early years. Then he went to Chicago. He stayed in a suburb of Chicago called Waukegan. Okay. So I go out there, summer out there, but then he really put his flag in the sand in Atlanta, in Decatur, Georgia. So I went out there and I was living there for the end of elementary school and the beginning of high school.
Now listen, talk to me, because as a dad who's just moved to Atlanta, and now my child has to come and visit. Talk to me about that, like how that transitioned when you had to come and visit and you had to move and stuff like that. Like how does that, for kids out there that's probably listening, how do you overcome that?
Well, it was a culture shock. I didn't have the ability to network like I do today. So, coming in and just already off the rip, culture shock at home because my dad was Muslim. So my mom and my grandmother, their side of the family, on my mom's side, is Christian. So, they church goers and stuff like that. So, moving to his house, my younger brother, Big Zayd, who's, passed away, rest in peace, Big Zayd, and my stepbrother Naeem, they went to private school. I went to public school out there. So, they're already living a different lifestyle in their education life. Me, I'm out there with, whoever's the streets of Decatur, you know what I'm saying? So dolo, not really knowing anybody. Okay. Not really knowing anybody, not speaking the language, not dressing the way they dress, not listening to the music that they listen to. So, it was a little difficult to adapt, but I was able to shake and move. I feel like I feel like all of this stuff that I went through during my childhood, good, bad, or whatever, it built character along the way.
Okay. So now we're in Decatur. You was just visiting, right? Or you?
When I lived in Decatur.
Lived there because you lived there. So the structure, you had your structure. Are you a practicing Muslim or are you?
I'm not the most pious Muslim, but I do believe in,
Okay.
All
right. No, it's good. I just said I wanted to ask though. So you got the. If anything, you got structure because mom Christian. They go to church, you know what I mean? They probably go to church, 3 times a week? You know what I'm saying?
No. My mom wasn't like, all right, so, we could really unpack it.
Nah, come on, we got it.
The way they met was through art. We got the art on the wall and stuff like that. So that's where the creativity comes from.
Okay.
Things happened before I was able to comprehend stuff. They broke up. Mom's raised me in the projects, the Langfield project.
Langfield, okay.
So, already off the rip, there's already like a certain tier level of churchgoers. You know what I mean? You got the big church hats, and then you got the people that's kind of just, in the 80s, it was like, you best dressed to come to church or whatever mom's reason for, not going, she had a reason. So she wasn't always going. When I was small, she would always go. Then along the way, it kind of just, fizzled out.
Okay.
So I would only really attend church with my grandmother when I lived with my grandmother.
Okay. So we're going to stay in Decatur right quick though.
Okay.
So you living with dad and you, is he putting you on to the arts and crafts and stuff like that? Or how did you, did that sway? You said they met through art. So did he put you on or anything like that?
100%. He'd have, canvas in the crib, the artwork in the crib. It was always his dream to do art full time. So he'd even make me read. So, I'm a reader of books now. I love to read now. And I thank him for making me do that. I hated it when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. It made me go in a room and read for a certain amount of time every day. But, so he definitely was, curating and fueling my creativity along the way.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, for sure. And, my brother, Big ZD, he was a rapper as well. So if you go deeper into my mixtape catalog, you'll see a lot of records with me and him. But because he grew up in Decatur, he had that South style.
South style, okay.
So, yeah, he definitely definitely kept us creative.
So now you get into your middle school, you come back here for middle school, or you go to Cleveland for middle school?
Nah. Man, this decision that I made was a pivotal moment in my life. So, like, anybody that know me from the streets of Buffalo gonna know me from either, my grandmother's house on World Street or my mom's house when we lived on Bissell. That's where I put my hood flag in the sand, you know what I'm saying? So I made a decision. We came up here for some holiday or something, to visit family. And, at that time, again, we going through the culture shock, going through not really able to find my way and shake and move in Decatur like I could do in Buffalo. I made the decision to stay in Buffalo. And that moment, that one decision just, changed the whole course of my life. Because if I would have stayed with him, all right, so I had the structure of a 2-parent household. I had Decatur is considered a suburb by our Buffalo standards. So I wasn't it wasn't the hood. But, just me growing up in the projects and, living around the east side, I just gravitated more toward the hood and I could go out and get my own money and do my own thing. I couldn't really do that there.
Okay. And it's spaced out compared to here. Yeah,
them long walks. Boy, I can tell you about, I went to Tower High School in Decatur, right? Uh-huh. So, you know where Snapfinger Road is? Uh-huh. Okay, so I'm on Snapfinger Road. Tower High School is on the other side of, I think it's Glenwood or Columbia, one of them long streets down there. So the bus would go all the way around to get there, but it was no straight bus to my school. And when I got let out of school when the bell rang, my school bus was at the front of the row of buses. My last class was all the way at the end of the school. So I literally would have to skip class to miss this bus or skip class to make this bus or leave the class early to make this bus because by the time I'm running out, the bus pulling up because it's the first bus.
Oh my God.
So it's going through that every day and then having to walk all the way home, all the way down. It was too long. Man. It's just imagine walking from South Park High School all the way to like Kensington.
Oh hell no!
Like,
Hell
but the
no.
bus would go like downtown and then come back. Like, it was.
Hell
It was.
Listen, my first time in Atlanta, man, I caught myself. I should be telling the story. I caught myself going to the store. It was a gas station from where I was at, and I was going to jog. And I jogged, and it was the hill was like this. It wasn't like this hill. This joint was like this when it came down. When I got down, I looked up. I said, "Yeah." I called my sister like, "Yo, you gotta come get me."
Right.
It was crazy. So that walking around that, it's not happening. So now you come back to Buffalo. You with moms or grandma?
Moms.
Moms. Okay.
Back to Buffalo's moms.
When did the life become like the life? Like it's like I'm about to have to sell these drugs. I'm about to have to get in these streets to do what I got to do. When did that? Was it influence?
So coming back at 16, I was out at 17. I was out of her house at 17. You know what I mean? Because there was a lot going on with life there. So I got a record on Intelligent Hoodlum called Find My Way. You hear a lot of these introspective songs. It's because we're consistently literally trying to find our way, even if we got it figured out, right? Mm-hmm. So, at that point in my life, I figured out I could earn money doing this. I don't gotta rely on nobody. I don't gotta ask for, this or whatever and get denied. I could just go out and do it on my own. Mm-hmm. So around 17, shaking and moving with shout out to my brother and friend Coach Rome, who was like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, like, this is Sandbox.
That's wrong.
I know y'all know
my God.
from everywhere else, but this was like my, you know what I mean? Like we biting down on the peppermint and splitting it type shit. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So need I say more about,
Yeah. Okay, so Coach Rome. So you got Coach Rome, you done got into it with that.
And others. Yeah. But, he's still the person I'm like.
Got you. I got you. Now. So, heavy influence. I mean, we got to understand that. What year was that?
90. All right, so wait a minute. Hold on. So, I'm fast forwarding. So, 97 we came back. I moved out in 2000. So, wait a minute. So, freshman year, sophomore year, junior year is when I moved out.
Okay.
2000. Yeah.
So you move out. So now by then, the culture is getting real thick because now Hove is transcending into Hove, right? Lil Wayne is transcending into the man, you know what I mean? He's a kid, but he's showing that he can hold his own, you know what I mean? And Nelly. Who else we had it back then? All the artists that was prevalent. Ludacris. I don't think T.I. and Jeezy really came until 01, 03 or something like that. Around that time. You know what I mean? Heavy. Okay. But we just talking about that. Who was the heavy influencers for you in that time frame?
Greatest rapper of all time, in my opinion, is Nas. Nas Esco.
Hey, Casso. We got you beat 2-1 in here. Just so you know. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
NAS is the best.
So what about him got you inspired? What was it? One lyric? What lyric? What song? Where was it? And where were you? Because I'm gonna tell you about where I was when I first heard it. But where were you at that time? When you first heard it and you knew.
When I first heard him? I was in Atlanta when I first heard him. So
in Atlanta. Okay.
Yeah. So it was written, came out. I was still living in Decatur. But when he had a line on taking the felon Attica, sending him to Africa. I was just like, wait a minute. That I just felt dumbfounded when he said that. Take that If I Ruled the World song was a very powerful record. We look at mainstream rap from that time, it was very diverse. It was very you're getting different flavors as opposed to now where you're getting the same cookie cutter thing. Right. And that song, not only was it creative and different, but when you bought the album, you could read the lyrics. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like you reading a story, and the way he would put his rhymes together, it was it was unmatched at that time.
So mine's a little bit different. Mine is it was the Life's a Bitch.
Okay, so he was early.
Yeah, and it was it was so much that how he and AZ pivoted off each other, where it's like it almost sounded like it was like they didn't even write it, like it didn't even come. Like, it just was just like so magical, you know what I mean? And as a kid, you know, I'm at that time I'm 11. You know, like I'm like, yo, like what am I hearing? You know what I'm saying? Like what is this? This life's a bit like really, and then you die. Oh my God! Like you know what I'm saying? Like you just, I woke up early on my born day.
Yeah.
It's 20. He's 20 years old talking. He's 19 at the same time turning 20, and he's writing like this. Just like I think an 11, 12-year-old, I'm like, yo, this is like. And as time goes on with that, I just enjoyed it and loved him. But I mean, he is, to me, he is the greatest. My son is named Nas.
Nice.
So, but going back to you, what else influenced you around that time to get you? So we got the arts, right?
Okay.
We got pops.
Right.
We got moms. We got grandma. What else influenced you to put you into it to say, yo, I'm going to rap, or this is what I'm going to enjoy to do? You know what I'm saying?
You know, had a karaoke machine in the crib, so you know, I got a funny story about that. So
We got it. Come on.
you know what I mean? I used to load up the karaoke machine and be rapping in that joint. And I don't know if you remember Hood Records over in that old Trico building over off of CP somewhere, right?
I know what CP is.
So it was a rapper named Bop. I think he had like, you know, back in the day I used to get like the CDs and, you know, contact info or whatever, call up there like, yo, I need to come up and play my demo. No, this is just me rapping on karaoke, you know what I'm saying? Yo, them boys was in there. I played my tape. This is Vitamin A days, right? So yeah, for those that don't know, my rap name used to be Vitamin A.
Vitamin A?
Yeah.
Who? Nah, no, why did you come up with that?
Not even really
Hold
sure where that came
on.
from.
How did you...
Not even really sure where Vitamin A came from, but yeah, that's a throwback. So if people call, you hear some people call me VA,
Okay.
you know they know me from way back.
All right.
But these boys was in the joint, you know what I mean? I come up with my demo tape, man. You know what I mean? They playing it, and they trying so hard not to laugh. You know how you just be like, you know, like you. It make it more funny when you try not to laugh.
Yeah.
In hindsight, I'm looking like them boys was clowning me hard. They was going to get more people. Yo, listen to this. And they
Oh,
and I caught the bus from high school. I caught the
Damn.
bus from. I was going to South Park. Caught the bus from South Park down there. When my little bus passed, man, play that joint for them. So yeah, man,
No.
it definitely was in me. I mean, writing raps probably since like maybe I want to say like. Maybe second or third grade or something.
Okay,
like
so it was in you then. So that's what I was trying to get to inspire. So who inspired you back? Is it second grade? That's
well,
you know.
let's bring it back to Pops. So when I was a kid,
Okay.
you know, he bought me a little boom box. This is the '80s, so you know, little cassette tapes, little MC Hammer, Heavy D cassette tape, thing like that.
Okay.
Fresh Prince, you know. See, it's a common theme with the rap I was listening to. So I wasn't on the Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, and Cool G till I was older.
Okay.
But when I was a kid, that's what it was. So you know, it was easy to interpret their style of rap. You know, it's
Right.
Well, I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't do that.
Hey, listen, it's some people out here right now that's like that too. So I mean. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna say no names. I
ain't gonna say no
you know,
names neither, man. I know where you're going.
Keep the culture going, but you know.
I know where you're going with that now, but shout out to
And I got a
people.
question to you about that, but go. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that you know, since then Nah, I respect. See, I'm a lover of music overall, so I respect the time that it was in, and you know the impact that it had on me. I just listened to Heavy D Birthday just passed, so I just listened to that first. My first rap cassette was Heavy D Big Time, so I just listened to that joint on Heavy D Birthday on Tidal, and it just really brought me back because I hadn't listened to it since I was a kid.
Okay.
So yeah, that was like the first influence right there.
Okay. So you know, we fast forward. You got the Nas. You started writing. When did you start recording?
Outside of karaoke.
Yeah.
So in 5th grade, I had a friend named Strange. And my man Eulogy too.
Okay.
Yeah, Stranger.
What's Eulogy real name?
Eulogy real name was Jatazba.
I don't know. Okay.
So, you know, rapping with him. So my wanting to be lyrical in the beginning came from Strange, and Strange used to go to S. Bill's house, and they had the Death Valley studio. First, it was always on Moselle, as far as I remember. So you know, he took me over there, and we was a group,
Okay.
and we had a project called Mixed Elements that we recorded. We had some features on that thing too, man. Had Rama G on there. Had who else we had on there? I think we had Whiter on there too. I mean, and these, you know, this is like, you know, these are people I consider legends. I mean, obviously, I think you brought up Griselda when you was on here. You know, my first dealings with them was there at S. Bill's house. So going to record, and this is back in the time where like you you had to have rhymes. You had to have rhymes ready. You had to have like it wasn't even really about songwriting. It's just like having your pen sharp, just in case you in a cipher and somebody, you know, start attacking you. You ready to battle or whatever like that.
Right.
So recording at S. Bill's house was the first time I ever recorded on mic. So trying to find my voice there, find my flow there, and that to me was like training camp, the beginnings.
Beginnings. Okay. So now I remember you said that you were from Laurel. That's Cold Spring.
Grandmother lived
I'm from Cold Spring. I lived on Waverly and I lived on Landon.
Okay.
So my grandmother on my dad's side lived on Landon. My grandmother on my mother's side lived on Waverly. So I was in cross between those two. But I went to school 8. School 8.
Yeah, I did. I went there too.
But talk about just now you rapping. So now there's hoods. You know what I mean? Everything, you know, for people who don't even understand or know, in Buffalo, it's big, but it's not that big. Like you literally go and went from one part of the neighborhood and be in a whole different game. You know what I mean? Like it's just like a step over. You know what I mean? Talk to me about what kept you kind of locked in and keeping you away from that part.
I ain't even gonna hold you. I wasn't away from it.
Okay, all right.
Got it shaking. You know what I mean? Like lumps and bruises, and you know, yeah, there's a lot of that with the hoods. You know, Strange was from Boxton, Moselle. Bissell was one street over from Goodyear. You got Coons, Nevada, Montana. Ivy, St. Louis, I mean Barthel, Walden, like it's all like, you know, all packed into one area. So I think obviously I have fights, so we ain't gonna skim over that. But you know, my ability to be a barber, you know, kind of helped me out with you know, building relationships with different people, like from the projects or Boxing Moselle or from over here or over there.
Okay, so when did you become an actual barber?
16.
I was trying to get to that. So my shit.
Yeah, so I started in the barbershop at 16. I'm glad that I'm glad that we.
Because I'm trying to get somewhere, but you got me back. With, all right, cool.
I live a lot of life. I'm almost 40, so.
All right.
So yeah, I'm glad that we're keeping it on the music because I talk about the barbering origin story so much that I don't really get a chance to discuss the music origin story.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But yeah, definitely was simultaneously doing both. You know, barbershop, whenever I could get in the studio, and you know, it wasn't always popping at the shop. So, you know, writing raps or whatever, you know, school, study halls, writing raps.
So now you get to that point, you're recording. Your first demo tape was on a karaoke machine. When did you actually first like get your own or tape or the song that you was like, yo, I'm good at this? Like somebody showed you how to make the actual song. Because people
that took a while.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
The songwriting took a while. So what's up? I'm gonna keep y'all entertained since we live. Yo, it's VALED. You know what I mean? This is my first time on the podcast. I'm super excited. It's cold in here, so that's why I keep sitting like this and shivering. Because we back. You know, I'm gonna keep y'all engaged, man. I'm happy to be here. Is this a good time to? I came bearing gifts.
Yeah.
Is this a good time?
Please,
you know
please.
What I mean?
Hey, listen. I'm sorry for that, but the music was.
You know what I mean? This is Valed on Culture Visions, man. So we're gonna do it right. We're gonna do it the way we're supposed to do, man. Brought you, you know, a little something.
Oh!
You know
See, I asked for liquor. He waited till the right time.
You know what I mean? Warm you up, and then we
You know
got
what I'm saying?
Fade in Full merch. You know what I mean? The most dangerous barbershop.
And we're gonna talk about that.
The most respected barbershop. Shout out to the whole squad at Fade in Full.
So you got some hitters in there.
Yeah. Alright. Got Mr. West, D's, Grimy P, Vega, my man Reg, and newcomer to the squad, Duke. You know what I mean? And shout out to everybody else within the organization that works for us behind the scenes, administrative.
I gotta stay on it because
we could talk about a lot.
We're gonna get to the barbershop. Well, okay, so so now you record your song, so you got that. What happened when you were cut hair? You gang banging, you was doing all that. Did people
I remember taking the Nipsey hat off now for this, man. Damn.
So what happened? How did you get people to take you serious? Because they know you from this, they know you from that, and then now you're integrated. You know how almost like I don't have no other person to say, but like Fat Joe had to integrate. He for his story, people don't know, he was smacking niggas and doing all type of crazy shit. He had to tone it down to actually be Fat Joe the rapper. Tell us about how you had to tone it down so people could take you more serious on the music side.
All right, so that came in waves, man. So we got two different journeys with music. You know what I mean? Like we got before I went to jail, and then post coming home from jail.
Okay.
Coming home from jail was the Valed era. You know what I mean? Pre-jail was Vitamin A. Okay. So the moment that I would say people began to take me serious, and even me taking myself serious, was we kind of did this project with Spoons. It really didn't go nowhere. You know, we featuring on songs, you know, Diego Delgado's and whoever making music, whenever the mic was on and it was time to rap and it was my turn, I was rapping.
Okay.
Right? But then that kind of just came and went. So I'm just like kind of back at square one. And this is after I caught my case. So, you know what I mean? Back from adulting to mom's basement. And they were doing the Battle Dome on the radio, 93.7.
Okay.
So I call in every Thursday and be battling on the radio. I still have the cassette tapes.
Of that?
Yeah, they retired me. Like, be clear, they retired me. Nobody took me down. Nobody ever beat Vitamin A.
You got any of that?
I should have brought that. I didn't come home before I came here. I'd have loved to bring. I got all my receipts of everything.
Because people don't understand,
we got a rich history.
The history in Buffalo as far as trying to break artists.
Yeah.
They really were trying at 93.7. Like, seriously. They were. It wasn't like I don't know if they were trying to, backhand or none of that stuff, but at least they was putting on the front. As in, giving you opportunity to showcase your skills and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, 100%. We got a rich history, man. And I'm well aware of, a lot of people, places and things in regards to this rap game here. Like, I've been a student of it, a product of it, and an advocate of it too. We'll fast forward to that. So, be okay. I'm on there, radio, killing it every week. And once that run was over, I mean, man, that was an exciting time for me because, writing raps, getting ready to battle. I battled some hitters too. I battled Alumni. I battled Courage. I battled Telly. Telly is battling now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he's on the circuit of the
yeah. He's battles. like a URL battle rapper. Yeah. I battled him on the radio.
Okay. Would you ever think about getting into that again?
No. Not at all. No way.
I'm saying, surf.
I love surf. But I'm not surf.
Okay, all right.
You know what I mean? But these are just some of the notable names that I battled. And once that came and went and they retired me, back to square one. Okay. I did a little theme song for the show and produced by Thugsman. And
shout out to Thugsman.
Man, this is my man's, man. This is my brother and friend, man. I love Thugsman. Thugsman, I just ran into him at Ritten's birthday party too. Okay. So shout out to Thugs, man.
Okay.
Thugs, that's a whole nother chamber right there with me and Thugsman.
I know Thugsman don't even probably remember me, man, but I remember he had it was a showcase or whatever that I was at, and Sugar Shaft was doing it. It was there at this time, and D Black.
Rest
You
in
know what I'm saying?
peace.
Rest in
D
peace.
Black.
And I love fuck with D Black so hard. But I remember, man, like I had listened to like it was a mixtape, and I used to listen to that shit like front to back, like more than the mainstream artists. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I met him, I seen him, and I fanned out. And he probably wouldn't never recognize me now,
sure,
whatever. But
sure
I fanned out like, yo, your shit. And I never like I could imagine myself doing that to Nas or somebody, but not to like. And for him, I know he just was in the shit like, yo, this is weird. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
Nah, that's all good. We gotta be clear. Thugsman is a legend.
Yes.
Thugsman is a legend. He's a pillar. He's an icon to me. He's a coach. He's a producer, man. Like you wouldn't have like my first album. So so I got retired, and I'm trying to work on an album now. That's like the next thing before I go in. And even Thugsman showed me how to show me how to make beats. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm, on my first album, the Vitamin A album, I got 4 or 5 beats on there that I produced, and they're not that great. Hopefully one day we could play them. I mean, maybe I'll go live 8 a.m. gang and play that. But yeah, he made all my beats, and then I made some beats, and we got it rocking with that album. I did a release party at the Groove on Pearl Street, and I'm gonna tell you about this release party, man. Like back then I had unstoppable confidence, but you go through things, right, that kind of like impact you and your decision making going along the way. Mm-hmm. So, we did all this. We put all this money into the album release party or whatever, and not a lot of people showed up, man. Not a lot of people showed up. I didn't know really about promotion the way that I do now or would now, and then we didn't have access, to promote the way that we do now. So, just getting like 1,000 flyers and just telling people about it, wasn't enough to really draw a crowd.
Right.
So that has, and there's some other things about that night that, kind of made me fear like doing another event. So a lot of my buzz and a lot of my notoriety came as Valed come from the mixtape game. It's not really from events. If I was performing with somebody else. I never really headlined, since that time. Mm-hmm. So, that was a huge moment, even though it was a learning experience. I'll say that.
When I did Culture Sundays with the fellas Liv U, Jay Skis, Rain, and Alex Nani.
Shout out Alex Nani, man.
I didn't even know what I was getting myself into, to be honest. And I remember one day me and Castle being in here, and he like, yo, you forking a lot of money out. Yo, I don't know if everybody's gonna show. You're not even known as a promoter.
Right. You
know what I'm saying? Like, how are you gonna get the people there? And then I remember I told him, I was like, you got to have faith. And I literally, that conversation, I walked out. The man said, yo, you crazy. That first night, March 31st, 2019, never forget it, because my son's birthday is March 31st, and that's the day that, rest in peace, Nipsey